I think I'm all in. You know, it's what I do all day. Since switching to pro status, I've been able to spend more time training, spending more time kind of dialing in my nutrition, getting more rest. So now that's all I do. I teach classes in privates, so that's kind of how I finance my career. Before I was doing a lot of construction, so I'd spend all day on the construction site and then come in and train for 2 to 3 hours. So now I'm doing 2-3 day workouts.
Nice.
And getting in about 6 days a week, and at the same time plenty of rest and good diet, and with all three of those things together, it's really up my game quite a bit. I'm learning a lot right now and growing really fast. Definitely outside of my comfort zone, working with guys, a good group of guys that I would consider to be more experienced than myself. So that's really kind of dragged me up into the upper echelon of the sport, I think.
Nice. I mean, I guess next, how much do you know about your next opponent? I heard Lee Morrison.
Yeah, Lee Morrison. I know a little bit about him. I've kind of looked into it. He wrestled at Menlo College, so he's got a good wrestling base. He's been fighting for at least 5 years, so he's got quite a bit of experience. So far, 5 pro fights. He's been pretty active this year. He just had a big win over a alpha dog fighter. I can't remember the name of the guy.
Eddie Hoach?
Yes. Yeah. He was 7-1. Now he's 7-2. But so he's beat some pretty tough guys. He's a little bit smaller build than myself. He's got some weight and some muscle, but he's actually 5'6". So gotcha. I have some range on him, and kind of picking up where I left off. My last opponent was a lot like that, collegiate wrestler. I do.
And I also saw that you have a brown belt in judo, which I think is actually pretty unique. Especially in this area, there's not a lot of judo guys, in this area. Do you think that gives you an advantage, over these wrestlers that are a lot more used to the double legs and things like that?
Yeah, I do. I think being a judo player, I can deal with the wrestling, better balance, takedown defense. Also just kind of toughens you up because you take a lot of falls when you're training judo. So it kind of gives you the grit that a lot of wrestlers have, because when training as a wrestler, you go through some pretty hard workouts. So I never got to wrestle, but with the judo, I think that's kind of made up for it. And my head coach, Scott McCory, is a black belt in judo, unbelievable judo player, and he's the head MMA coach here. And so he's done a really good job of mixing the MMA with the judo and making it applicable to MMA. So I think it is going to help me out. Might get another big judo throw. I got one in my last fight. It felt pretty good. Got a big uchimata. He got shot in and took the uchimata. And so I hope to get more of that, because I know people like to see that. So
judo throws are awesome.
Feels good too when you land a judo throw.
Also coming back a little bit to Lee Morrison, another wrestler. How much does it help having Team Quest, who is really well known for the wrestling pedigree that they've produced in top MMA? How much has their help really gotten you prepared to deal with a wrestler? For your first pro fight?
A lot, because like you said, most of the fighters out of Team Quest come from a wrestling background. So, I'm used to dealing with that in practice. Probably, more than half the guys have at least wrestled collegiately. There's a few Olympic alternates, a few Olympic silver medalists in there. Well, one Olympic silver medalist, Matt Linlin. I get to spend a lot of time with him. He coaches a lot of the practices over in Gresham. Most of the time he's coaching. So we do a lot of wrestling over there, a lot of wrestling drills, takedown defense, getting up, So I think a lot of that's going to play into my favor going into this fight with Lee.
Nice, nice. So also, I mean, you started out as a grappler primarily. You know, early on, you did a lot of grappling tournaments. Could you also tell us a little bit just about your striking game? Because I mean, you have awesome striking, good footwork. You know, how that really came into its own, and how you plan on using that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that compliment. I've just been doing a lot of boxing with the boxing coaches, and just trying to train as much Muay Thai as possible. Been training actually out of a Muay Thai camp out in Oregon City, and I think I'm going to try to use that to my advantage. That's really one thing I like to do in all my fights is start there, because that's where the fight starts. So try to engage with the striking, and then really wherever the fight goes, you know, I'm willing to take it there. That's why I try to be a well-rounded fighter. You know, with the striking. You know, the clinch from standing, all the takedowns, fighting off my back, fighting in top position, all those things are really important. But one thing I really do enjoy is the striking, you know, from punch, kick, knee distances.
Yeah.
That's actually what I prefer to do. I think that's what people like to see, and it's the most exciting to me. So
Yeah.
I hope to be able to use some of those tools.
Awesome. Also, I mean, just so this is your your first debut. You've had an awesome amateur run. You know, what does this first fight as a professional really mean to you, and what can we expect on July 29th?
Yeah, July 29th. Yep. Yeah. Well, this is a big step toward a major goal of mine. This is what I want to do for a living, and it's really important that I come out strong and have a good showing. You know, there's a big difference between 5-0 pro and 2-3 pro, and that's, you know, getting the right fight, getting a good opportunity, getting a good payday. So if I really want to do this and take it to the UFC level, you know, take it to the big stage, then I got to come out strong and win this fight decisively. So I'm excited about it, you know, a little nervous about it, and I think that's just, you know, my mind and my body is preparing itself for something that I know is really important for my career.
Yeah.
So this is just, you know, every fight is important, but I think this one's extra important, being my first pro fight. It'd be nice to get paid for it.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that, and yeah, I'm gonna go out and fight for my food, essentially. So
Nice. So I mean, essentially, going right to it. You know, how do you see this fight going come July 29th? How do you think you're gonna take it to him?
I think I'm gonna be on the feet. You know, I'm gonna be doing a lot of striking from the feet. You know, stand up, and you know, I'm always hoping for early stoppage. Last 3 fights, I got first round stoppages, and you know, I never expect it, but I definitely go for that. You know, if I sense a finish, I'm definitely gonna take it wherever it's at. I hope it's in the first round, but I am prepared to fight all 3 5-minute rounds. So I expect a really good, tough fight out of Lee. He seems like a really tough guy. So I am prepared for 3 rounds all the way to the end, but I'm going to be trying my hardest to finish it as quickly as possible.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much, all I've got. Cage Combat 4, and that's at Spirit Mountain on July 29th.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, excited. Cool. Ready to rock.
If you could tell us a little bit about training with Tommy, and what do you think he really excels at, and where his real strengths are from a coach's standpoint?
Yeah, well, one of the funny things about Tommy is he doesn't really have, excuse me, talking about you in the third person, he doesn't really have a big weak area. Because he came to me with no specific background other than, general sports. He wasn't a national level wrestler or a boxer or kickboxer. So it was kind of like taking clay, and we were able to mold him and keep him as even as possible. Because as we found out with MMA, as it's evolving, if you're really good in one area, you really have a weakness in another, and most people like to continue doing what they're really good at. Whereas Tommy, we kept him even as he goes. His kickboxing, his boxing, his jiu-jitsu, his judo, everything is really shown.
Awesome.
That it's really a strength.
Move a little bit. Hopefully I can get the sun out of your eyes there for you.
That's okay.
I guess the next question, coming up for his fight here against Lee Morrison, we were talking a little bit earlier. It's he's got a wrestling base, and here at Team Quest, obviously a very awesome place to be preparing for a wrestler. Could you tell us a little bit about how you've been helping him prepare for that and getting him ready for Lee Morrison? If it's
without giving away too much of a game plan or anything. We want to take the fight to this guy. A lot of wrestlers want you to back off and wait for them. We don't want to play just a counter game. We want to go after the guy. We want to take him out of his comfort zone and make him suffer, no matter where he goes. And that's the thing that we like to do with this is try to emphasize to people. It's like Tommy's gonna take him down. Tommy's gonna be on top, and no matter what position he's in, the guy's gonna regret it.
Awesome.
And that's the biggest thing that we like to look with this, whether it's a wrestler or a stand-up guy. All of a sudden, he feels like he's going to do well in that area. We're going to take it to him, take him out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, awesome.
I think so, not with this one.
I would like to say that Tommy, to me, is a great ambassador for the sport. I mean, he's somebody who I am proud to stand with him in the fight because I know he's going to do his best, win, lose, or draw. He's a great example for people to look up to. And he's a great example for people in the MMA community to look at as though we're not a bunch of thugs. We actually are articulate, intelligent, nice guys who just like to fight. Let's go 9 and then 10 after that T.
Hey, 1, 2, 2.